comments on this?
Well, we're in deliberations.
We're in deliberations.
Let me take a look at the rules.
I don't believe it allows for it if I...
You can ask questions, however, we are in deliberations, so I wouldn't think that you could take them now, so let me make sure.
Jay says conclusion of the complaint. Right here.
If you go back to do that, you've got to open it all the way up.
Right. Yeah, I don't think
No,
we
it's
can.
clear that you cannot take, yeah, it's clear in here. That makes sense. Okay. You cannot take further questions while you're in deliberations, that's the answer.
Okay. Thank you. Any further comments, or are we ready? What we have to do, and to me this is the most difficult portion, when we do come to agreement, or if we're at agreement, we have to give an oral decision which includes the findings and conclusions in support of that decision. And then it will get written up after that, and we'll have to approve that. So whatever we agree on here, I would hope will be pretty much the wording of any written decision, unless there's something legal that we don't do. But with lawyers present. So I don't know if we are at that point, or if there are other comments from any of the commission members.
I guess the question is, can we reach consensus on 2104043A as to use of position to secure special privilege? Because we seem to be in agreement on the first one.
I'm in agreement on that as well. That you did not, that the privilege was there and it was not using the office to secure that privilege.
If Mr. Nelson had voted on his own appointment, I think that would have been a use of special privilege. But he abstained from voting on his own appointment, left the matter to the majority, and when that failed, left the matter was then left to executive remedy. So I don't see a second privilege arose, other than the one he had by his membership of the council, which he had prior to this process anyway.
So I hear you.
I support.
Support.
Phil Sharp's comment. But I would also, though, like to add, I still think this process needs to be cleaned up. It's for the benefit of the council members.
I would absolutely agree on that.
So you see the special privilege as the appointment, as the actual appointment. So if he'd voted for himself, he would have been using his position.
If he'd voted for himself, I would have a real problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Because that's the special privilege. Yeah.
And it might be good that council people get advice that guides them more completely. Okay.
Would it? I just said one thing. I think if what advice? Sorry.
No, we can't ask.
Okay. If he received advice that said that there was no problem with him voting on others, or if he received advice that if he sought counsel and received no negative counsel, I don't see how we can hold him responsible.
Oh, I disagree. I disagree. You take legal advice and you're still ethically responsible to do the right thing. It doesn't matter what the legal advice was, and he could choose to ignore or to take the advice of counsel at any point. So, an ethical behavior is not premised on what advice you get from your chairman.
No, but there's the issue of, are you acting in good faith? If he's acting in good faith on the advice he received, believing he's doing the right thing, then I don't see it as an ethical violation. you may say that what he did was inappropriate, and that a more informed person would have come to a different conclusion.
The record here indicates that he received no advice with respect to voting on the other 24 nominees. He received advice that he couldn't, from Karen Frakes, that he couldn't vote on his own nomination.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. Would anybody like to tackle, if we are ready, to come up with a decision and facts?
Does it require a motion, or are we looking for a motion?
Well, the rules are not that clear. That's the problem too. I think I would have a request of council that they do a lot of looking at the rules,
Yes.
and even the process that the commission had to go through to get to this point. And I think we are at this point because it was felt that really needed to have a public airing and a hearing, and that it all be very public. Yeah, I think we could all give a little advice if they would be open to that. But it does. We do need a motion.
To take an action, you're going to need a motion.
So does the motion have to be the decision, the oral decision then?
Make a motion that we find X, supported by the following facts discussed. I think that would be the procedure.
And then we maybe refine that even.
Refine them, change them, and then
Okay.
motion and move some sort of agreement.
Is there a motion to set us in the direction that I believe we're headed?
All right, well, I'll give it a try. So I move that we adopt the following findings. I'm going to break this out between findings of fact and conclusions of law. Findings. 1. The Whatcom County Council met in a public meeting on December 8, 2009 at the County Courthouse in Bellingham, Washington. 2. Mr. Nelson was both a sitting council member and one of 25 nominees that the council considered to fill the vacant District 1 Position B seat. 3. Election to the vacant position required a majority of the full 7-person council, meaning 4 votes, pursuant to Whatcom County Code 2.02.030 A and B. Finding 4. Mr. Nelson took part in voting regarding 23 of the 24 other nominees. He did not vote on his own candidacy. Number 5. Mr. Nelson voted in favor of some candidates and against others. Number 6. No candidate received enough votes from the council to obtain the position. Number 7. The county executive later appointed Mr. Nelson to the position after reviewing the nominated candidates per Whatcom County Code 2.02.030C. 7 or 8. An alleged ethical violation was filed, asserting that Mr. Nelson's participation in vote with respect to the vote, not participation, because abstention could be seen as participation, that his voting to fill the vacancy violated Whatcom County Code 2.104.020 in Whatcom County Code Provision 2.104.043A. And I would include the text of those 2 provisions in the findings. I could read them if you'd like. We've read them before. I'll read them again.